Raw Review with Smack Talk. I'm your host, Boise. Welcome to another episode of Smack Talk Wrestling's Raw Review. I'm your host, Michael, and let's get on with the show. It was a great kickoff to the show. You had Kurt Angle come out, the fans singing "You Suck," which is always great. And then he started talking about the main event for T.L.C. The Shield takes on the Miz, take on the Bar, taking on Braun Strowman. And this was a great build up, but then something amazing happened. The original Shield music hit, and the crowd went mental. At first we didn't even realise it was happening, like the fans were just... next thing you know, everyone's screaming because they realise the music's hit, and everyone's the cameraman goes straight to the main entrance. No Shield there, doing their classic walk through the crowd. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. On that point, Roman, Seth, Dean, all in their classic Shield outfit, walking down, surround the ring. Makes Kurt Angle look a little bit nervous, which is understandable because the Shield did have a reputation of attacking anyone. And then Angle just goes, "Should I just give this to you?" And Roman goes, "Yeah." Then they pretty much like call out the Miz, Braun Strowman, and the Bar, and just pretty much like, "Why don't we just do it tonight? Why don't we just have the fight tonight?" And Braun Strowman and all that all come out, prepared to take him on, and Kurt Angle goes, no, we're not having it. I'm not having it. We are gonna have the main event at TLC. There's no way you guys are gonna fight tonight. Now everyone back off. And the Shield did a great promo. Roman got a few boos, a very little boos than he usually gets, because obviously the Shield reunion was on full motion, and the fans were just excited. I was excited. I was like, "Oh my god, the Shield music!" But you do that when you know that the Shield are there. And it was a great back and forth between the Miz and the Shield, and it just made it look forward to the Miz TV special, which was going to have Braun Strowman in. Then we go to our first match of the night, and the first match of the night was just an absolute waste of time. It was Jason Jordan, Titus O'Neil, and Apollo Crews take on Elias and the Good Brothers, or the Club, or Gallows and Anderson, whichever you want to call them, because they have so many names. But again, it was a throwaway match. Means nothing. Is it continuing Jason Jordan's rivalry with the Good Brothers, or is it continuing the Titus O'Neil worldwide taking on Elias? Who knows? It really didn't make any sense why they were having this match. But the match itself was mediocre. The faces won, which was Jason Jordan, Titus O'Neil, and Apollo. So Titus has gone from heel to face without really anyone really noticing. Titus Worldwide is a faction, I think. I think Jason Jordan could join. I have no idea. It's like Jason Jordan's been put into matches where he's going to tag with people, and it looks like they're just going to throw him into as many tag team matches as physically possible. But it was an okay match. No one really cared when Jason Jordan, again, no reaction for Jason Jordan. Elias gets quite a good reaction nowadays, but who knows what's going to happen with that lot. It's kind of like a mid-card mess, and it's one of those matches which isn't going to really be that important in the long run. Then we had our 205 match, which was interesting because you had this is the thing with 205, the cruiserweight division, because they want to continue stories from 205. They have to bring it. You have to give you a recap, and half the time they're like, I don't care what's happening on 205. The only thing I care about on 205 in the cruiserweight division is what's going on with Neville. Again, Neville wasn't on the show. There was no mention of him, but the crowd did cheer for him, and we'll talk about that later on in the video. But again, it just felt like the 205, the cruiserweight division, is it's the toilet break match. It just didn't feel like anything was, unless you continue, if you're a fan of the 205 show and you know the story going in, it just made no sense. Cedric Alexander took on Gentleman Jack Gallagher. I didn't even realise Gallagher turned heel until recently. So, and that happened on 205. Again, if you don't watch 205, you miss stuff like that. When did Gallagher turn heel? These are the questions you want to ask. You don't really notice until later on. But it was a decent match. As Alexander's he's a good wrestler. He's a decent wrestler. Gallagher's a decent wrestler, and they put on a good show. Definitely better than the Jason Jordan match. But yeah, again, I think the 205 brand is struggling, and there's a lot of questions going on around it. Then we had the Miz TV Special, which we had Braun Strowman come out, and this was quite an interesting one because beforehand we had Dean Ambrose earlier on at the kickoff of the show decide that the Shield, if he went back in time, he'd still say what he would say is that the Shield would take on 3 guys, 4 guys, 5 guys. It doesn't matter how many guys, they'll take him on. And he said he still believes that's the case. The Shield would still win. And then on the Miz TV, the Miz just pretty much stated, well, if that's what Dean Ambrose says, we will add another guy, our 5th member. Then Kurt Angle comes out and goes, Miz, don't even pull that trick. You've already got a 4th member. I'm not having this turn into a circus. Calm down. You've got an extra man already. And Miz tries to throw in the same logic as he did last time, which does make sense. But this time Angle's like, no. If you want to have an extra man, Braun Strowman has to beat Roman Reigns in the main event of the steel cage match. And they're all looking, and they're all like, you could tell that the Bar and the Miz were like, no, we don't want to risk it, because the stipulation was if Braun had won, they'd get an extra man. If Braun loses, Braun will be taken out of the match, and it really made the Miz and the Bar worried. They were like, no, we shouldn't take the risk. We'll keep to 4. And Braun just goes, no, I accept. We're gonna do this. And the Miz looked like he wanted to shout at Braun, but he was like, no, I'm not that stupid. The Bar looked really scared as well. Then, that was pretty much it. It was a good segment again. The Miz is absolutely, he's the best. He's one of the best heels in the company. Best talker in the company, apart from Paul Heyman, like I keep saying. And then you've definitely got Braun Strowman, who is the powerhouse, and the Bar are just the best heel team in the company. And tag team in Raw, in the tag team division on Raw, they're definitely the best. I'll take that back, because I think it's really hard to choose between who's the best tag team heels right now, because I've definitely the Usos on SmackDown and the Bar on Raw are the 2 best, and that's definitely true. Then we had what felt like an old Divas match. It lasted like 2 minutes. It was Sasha Banks take on Alicia Fox. Again, a match which only came about because of last week's match between everyone competing to take on Asuka at T.L.C. Alicia had an excuse. She didn't tap out apparently, but she did. We all saw it, and it pretty much, I think Sasha Banks got caught. There was some blood on her, but yeah, she won. She made Alicia Fox tap out again. Who cares? Alicia Fox is awful. Not a very talented wrestler, unfortunately. But Sasha Banks gets a win, so that's always good. Then we did have a backstage segment as well, where Alicia Fox attacks Sasha Banks while she's doing a backstage interview. Very, typical wrestling kind of thing. But Alicia also pushes a referee out of the way. Referee's pretty much escort her away while Sasha's on the floor, because she gets ragged about a few, a few places, getting hit into casing and boxes and everything around the area. And, it's looked like they're rekindling a Alicia Fox Sasha Banks rivalry, which was crap in the first time when they had Noam Dar and Swan as well partnering them. This is just, it feels like they're coming back full circle on this, and it was awful the first time, it's going to be awful again the second time. Then we had the Cruiserweight, we had Enzo Amore come out and pretty much claiming he was robbed last week, that his Cruiserweight title was stolen. Callisto came out to confront him, just pretty much like, look, you lost fair and square, there's no rules in a lumberjack match. And then next thing we know, Enzo has a posse of heels from 205 and attacks Callisto. Callisto is down on the floor. Mustafa Ali comes out to protect him. He gets beaten up. The crowd was ranting for Neville to come out. I was hoping Neville would come out. I was hoping this is it. The stories are ended. Neville was actually back. No Neville. Disappointing. Definitely shows that Enzo has turned heel completely now. He's working with the heels. He's definitely the leader of this new alliance in 205. Callisto and Mustafa Ali are definitely gonna have to build up an alliance, it seems. But it was okay. It was a good back and forth. Callisto speaking Spanish was always funny, because you could see Enzo looking really confused. Enzo, great heel work. I'm not too surprised that he's got an alliance now on 205. He's the biggest name on 205 if Neville does leave. So yeah, I'm not too fussed. Again, it's the 205 section, so a lot of people would have just switched off on that part. Then we go to probably our second main event of the night, because let's be honest, a title match is always going to be a main event no matter what. And it was The Shield, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins taking on The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus. Absolutely, it's not a classic like they have been having on their pay-per-views, but definitely a brilliant match to watch. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely watch it. Check out the highlights. Good match all the way through. Dean and Seth coming out in their old Shield gear, making the fans go crazy. It's just absolutely entertaining. It was back and forth. I honestly didn't. At one point you did think Cesaro and Sheamus was gonna get the pin and get the win and get the titles back, but no. There was like a mishap which happened halfway through the match as well, near the end. Sorry. Cesaro and Sheamus tried to do a double team move. It didn't look like Dean wasn't fully hooked up properly, and it didn't pull off correctly. But yeah, Dean got the win with a dirty deeds. Definitely putting up some momentum. You have to have like a good back and forth between the tag team divisions, and Dean and Seth are probably going to hold on. I reckon now they're going to hold on to the tag team titles on Raw until WrestleMania, because I think that's when that could be when the Shield start losing momentum. But right now, absolutely fun. Great to see Dean and Seth back in their old gear. Great to see The Bar, always entertaining. But like I said, it wasn't the best match of the night on, tag team wise. It wasn't the best match they've had, but definitely a good match for a Raw show. And then we had Finn Balor addresses Bray Wyatt. This is the part of the show where you just go, I don't care. Now we're having the Demon Finn take on Sister Abigail. I didn't care when it was man versus man. Didn't care when it was Demon versus Bray Wyatt. And now we've got Demon versus Sister Abigail. Again, this is a rivalry which has gone on way too far. I think this is a problem with Bray Wyatt rivalries. They go on longer than they should do, and they don't get any more interesting. Bray Wyatt is not going to win. If he wins, okay. But my head is saying Finn Balor, the Demon, is going to win. The Demon usually wins. It's been very rarely on NXT when the Demon lost. So this is no surprise for me. Then we had a tag team match between Mickie James and Bayley taking on the team of Emma and Alexa Bliss. A typical women's tag team match before a women's title match for a pay-per-view. Good match. It was okay. Bayley got quite a bit of a pop now. It's nice to see actually they're building her up nicely. Mickie James definitely has the biggest momentum going in. But saying that, Nia Jax had some of the biggest momentum going in, and she wasn't even on the show this week. Again, I feel like the women's division has kind of lost a step since everyone's focusing on the Shield reunion and, everything else going on around it. I think that's the biggest catch for TLC. The Shield reunion has just taken over completely. They've taken over Raw. I think you look at most of the signs which were in the crowd, they were all more about the Shield than they were about anything else. And let's be honest, it's great to see them back. But the women's division feels like it's lost a little bit. But back to the match itself. Nia, Mickie James just looked decent. She looked like she's definitely ready for TLC. I don't think she's going to win. I think Alexa Bliss is going to hold the title. They did mention Asuka a few times again tonight, so it was good. It was good to see Emma getting ready and prepared to take on Asuka. She's definitely not going to win against Asuka on her first match. I thought when it was like, so we're going to have Mickie James is going to have a partner, I actually thought it would be Asuka. I thought they'll bring her in early to have a tag team, and then she has her first singles match at TLC. But no, it looks like they're holding off the Asuka match completely until TLC, which is a bit of a shame. Don't get me wrong, but I love Bayley, but it would have been, I think the pop when Asuka turns up is going to be absolutely amazing, especially on Raw. And then we had our main event of the night, which was Braun Strowman taking on Roman Reigns in a steel cage match. Now Braun Strowman locked the cage door after Roman got in, and like I said earlier on the night, Kurt Angle made a deal. If Braun Strowman wins, the Team Miz will get an extra man to take on the Shield at TLC. It was a slow burst kind of match, but once it got going, it was absolutely amazing. You had Braun Strowman literally throwing Roman Reigns onto the cage every chance he got. Then Roman started getting momentum back. It looked like Roman was about to escape, and then the bar stopped him. And then the Shield the remaining members of the Shield came out. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose came out, stopped, beat up the bar, dragged them to the back. It was absolutely going off on what. There was a bit on the top of the cage where it was amazing, was that. Roman and Braun just colliding onto the mat, and then the bar and the remaining members of the Shield going into the back. The Miz follows them, locks them out, which was good. That was quite entertaining. Like the Miz, I don't want anyone getting involved in this match. Then he comes back to commentate because the Miz was on commentating at the night. I mean, it looks like Roman's got it. Momentum's going back to Roman. He starts Superman punch. And next thing we know, Kane's music hits. Kane returns. Now that's the big thing for this whole. This is going to be the big thing for everyone. Kane returning. For me, it was brilliant. It was absolutely awesome to see Kane back. To be honest, I was like, hold on, he's on SmackDown Live. So there must be a story where, Daniel Bryan's going to have to explain that tomorrow on, SmackDown Live. But Kane is back on Raw now, it looks. And he's a heel. Interesting. I reckon the reason he's come back is to get revenge on his brother, the Undertaker, on Roman Reigns. Definitely entertaining. It was definitely the most entertaining and most oh my god moment when he just comes out from the bottom of the mat, like the ring, like he does, chokeslams Roman Reigns not just once but twice. Then Braun Strowman power slam. And then obviously Tombstone power driver on Roman Reigns as well, which is great because I think the only two people who can really pull it off now is Kane and The Undertaker. Now Kane's the only one left of the Brothers of Destruction, but don't get me wrong, Braun Strowman and Kane look like the new Brothers of Destruction, so that would be interesting if they decide to pull that one off. But end of the day, it was brilliant to see Kane back, and then the Miz goes, and our 5th member of my team, Kane. Not like Vince McMahon. I don't know why I did Vince McMahon's voice, but it was brilliant anyway. And that was the end of the show. Braun Strowman pinned Roman Reigns. But oh my god, that Kane returning, absolutely fantastic. But yeah, that was the show before T.L.C. Was it good? There were good bits and there were bad bits. Obviously, the Jason Jordan match, no one really cared about. The Sasha Banks Alicia Fox match, no one really cared. The thing is, the Curtis Alexander match was good, but again, if you are not watching 205, there's no content there for you. The cruiserweight bit with Enzo and Callisto, with Enzo completely turning heel now. He's definitely heel. Brilliant. Mickie James's match was okay. It was tidy. The Finn Balor Bray Wyatt bit, meh. The Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns cage match, brilliant. Kane returning, fantastic. I'm excited to see that. The Raw tag team match, championship match. Callisto. No, not Callisto. Cesaro and Sheamus, absolutely brilliant heel. The best heel team on Raw. You've definitely got the best babyface tag team with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. But yeah, it was just brilliant. It was a good. Like I said, some bits were poor, but the majority of Raw was fantastic. But that's it. That's our show for today. We will be doing our Smack Talk Wrestling SmackDown review tomorrow. We might be doing a live feed on 2K18 because my copy's arriving today because I didn't get the deluxe edition. But we will be doing a live stream as well on 2K18. So I'll give you my thoughts and feedback on the game itself. But yeah, that's it. If you guys do like our videos, please like, subscribe, and you can follow me on Twitter if you fancy at Boise88. And I will see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews for Raw.